Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. This time, we're going to be looking at some articles about Instagram's new video editing app.
Edits?
Edits, right.
Right.
Which launched in the middle of like a really crazy weekend for TikTok.
Yeah.
Like we're talking potential US bans, then not bans, and a whole bunch of just uncertainty.
Yeah, it was quite the roller coaster.
Totally. And what makes it even more interesting is that Edits looks a lot like TikTok's own video editing app, CapCut.
Mm-hmm.
So is this all just like a coincidence? Or is Instagram like sneakily trying to like take advantage of all the trouble TikTok's having? That's what we're here to figure out.
Right.
Before we get into that, though, you've given us some articles about this whole thing.
I have.
What stood out to you from what you read?
Well, the timing of the Edits launch is really suspicious, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it was literally the same day as that first TikTok ban.
Yeah.
Several of the articles called it a pounce, or that Instagram was trying to capitalize.
Yeah, totally.
Which I think really gets at the main feeling from a lot of people.
Yeah, it does feel like Instagram was waiting to jump on that, doesn't it?
It does.
Before we go too far down that road, though, maybe we should back up a bit.
Okay.
For anyone who's maybe not like totally caught up on this whole saga,
Sure.
why is this new app such a big deal?
Well, to understand that, we need to look at the history between Instagram and TikTok,
Okay.
They've been fighting for dominance for years now.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to short videos, right?
Oh, absolutely. Like a constant one-upping each other.
Right.
Like, remember when Instagram came out with Reels?
Oh, yeah.
Clearly that was to try and compete with TikTok getting so big so fast.
Exactly. And they didn't stop there.
Right.
I mean, even just their layout now.
Yeah.
Instagram's changed it so many times.
To look more like TikTok.
Exactly. They're clearly feeling the pressure.
Totally. So Edits is just the next step in that evolution then, huh?
That seems to be the case, yeah.
So let's get into it then. What exactly is Edits? Like, what can it actually do?
Oh, it's packed with features.
Like what?
Oh, I mean, green screens, video overlays, AI animation, generative captions, all kinds of stuff.
Oh, wow.
And it's all meant for mobile.
Okay.
So, creating those super short videos, that it becomes so popular.
Yeah, I'm sensing a theme here.
Yeah.
Sounds a lot place like CapCut.
It does, doesn't
That's
it?
really similar.
Yeah, and that's why people are calling Edits a clone.
Okay, so is Instagram just copying TikTok then?
Well, it's never quite that simple.
Okay.
Sure, the inspiration is obvious.
Yeah.
But Edits does have some advantages, potentially.
Like what?
Well, first of all, it's built right into Instagram. So creators can see all sorts of data about how their videos are doing.
That's a big one these days, isn't it?
Totally. That kind of information can be incredibly valuable in the social media world.
Yeah, for anyone trying to grow their audience, that kind of data is like gold.
Exactly. So, yeah, Instagram's definitely trying to, take some of TikTok's success.
Yeah.
But they're doing it in a way that plays to their strengths, too.
That's smart. But there's a twist.
Right.
Just as Instagram seemed ready to, take over,
Mm-hmm.
President-elect Trump said, hold on. The TikTok ban is paused for now.
Wow.
Do you think Instagram, miscalculated?
It definitely makes things more complicated, that's for sure.
Right.
You have to wonder what they were thinking when that happened.
Seriously.
But even though TikTok is back online, for now at least, the security concerns are still there.
Right.
So it's still kind of up in the air.
Yeah.
And plus, we don't know what Trump's going to do about CapCut.
Great.
Or Eliminate, for that matter.
Which is?
Another app from ByteDance, the same company that makes TikTok.
Gotcha. So TikTok is back, but, it's not totally safe yet?
Exactly.
Makes you wonder, though, if TikTok did disappear, would everyone just go to Instagram? To Reels and Edits? I mean,
it's hard to say.
Is that what the data suggests?
It's not so clear-cut.
Okay.
Some surveys say Reels might get bigger, sure. But people might also go to, YouTube Shorts.
Oh, right.
And, of course, who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe some brand new app will pop up that we haven't even heard of yet.
That's the tech world, isn't it?
Right.
Everything changes so fast.
Constantly.
But one thing is clear.
What's that?
Instagram is winning.
In a way, yeah.
They've got advertisers really interested in Reels.
Yeah.
Which could be a big advantage for them no matter what happens with TikTok.
Absolutely. They've definitely made a splash, that's for sure.
It's really interesting, advertisers seem to be choosing Reels over TikTok already,
And it is interesting.
What do you think all of this means for the future of social media, though?
That's a great question.
Is this just a small blip, or are we seeing a big change happening?
To answer that, I think we need to look closer at what Instagram's doing with Edits.
Okay.
Because it might be hinting at something much bigger.
No.
It might be more than just, a new app.
Okay, let's explore that a little more.
Sounds good.
After a quick break, though, so don't go anywhere.
Welcome back, you guys.
So before the break, we were talking about how Instagram's strategy with edits could be like a sign of where social media is headed.
Right?
Like maybe this is more than just a new app. Maybe it's a whole new way of thinking about social media.
Yeah.
Like what if instead of just posting videos on a social network, the video editing app itself, like, becomes the platform?
Exactly. That's a really interesting idea.
Right.
And we're already seeing that kind of thing happen.
Oh, yeah.
With platforms like Twitch, for example.
Where
it's all about that live streaming and the community around it.
Yeah, and Discord, too, right?
It's totally.
Started as a place for gamers.
Yeah.
But now it's like all sorts of communities.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Artists, book lovers, anyone with a shared interest, really.
Exactly. It really shows how the lines are getting blurry between communication platforms and tools for making content.
Okay, so let's play this out then.
Okay.
If video editing apps are the new social networks, what does that even mean for, like, the average person?
That's a great question.
Like, for me, for you, for anyone using these things.
Right.
What changes?
Well, I think it could be really empowering for creators.
How so?
Imagine not having to worry about algorithms or the rules of any one platform.
Oh, interesting.
You'd have way more control over your content, your audience, like your whole creative vision.
Yeah, I get that.
It could lead to a much more diverse creator economy with all sorts of new ideas.
Yeah, instead of just the most popular influencers,
Right.
It would be the best storytellers,
Yeah, it's fine.
the people who can, like, really edit captivating videos.
And build communities around what they do.
Yeah, that's a cool thought. But there have got to be some downsides too, right?
Of course, there are always challenges.
Like what?
Well, one thing is, this shift could lead to a lot of fragmentation.
Meaning?
Instead of a few big social media companies, we might end up with tons of little video editing platforms.
Right.
Each with their own rules, their own audience.
Yeah, that could be hard for creators to, like, actually reach people then.
Right. And for users, too, it could be overwhelming.
Just too much to keep track of.
Exactly.
There's also the money side of things, right?
Oh, yeah. Monetization's a big question.
Like, right now, social media makes money from ads, mostly.
For the most part, yeah.
But would that even work if it's all about the video editing tools?
Good point.
Maybe we'd see more subscriptions?
Yeah, maybe.
Where you pay for extra features or exclusive content?
Could be.
Or who knows, maybe something totally new will come along.
It's definitely possible.
But we haven't even thought of it yet.
Right. There's so many possibilities, it's kind of exciting.
And a little scary, maybe.
Maybe a little bit of both.
Okay, but let's bring it back to right now.
Okay.
What is all this? Instagram, TikTok, all of it. What does it tell us about the tech world right now?
Well, I think it shows how intense the competition is.
Yeah.
And how quickly everything's changing.
Like every day there's something new.
Yeah. Right. But, that's actually good for us as users.
Oh, so?
We have more features, better tools, more variety of content to watch and engage with.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like a race to be the most creative.
But it also shows how, like, vulnerable these companies are.
In what way?
To stuff outside their control.
Oh.
Like government regulations, or if people just decide they don't like the app anymore.
Oh, for sure. Like what almost happened with TikTok.
Exactly.
Shows that even the biggest companies aren't invincible.
Makes you wonder what's next, doesn't it?
It does.
Like, is there some other app out there ready to just, like, change everything?
Could be. Remember Vine?
Oh, yeah.
Or MySpace.
Right. Gone but not forgotten.
What's popular today could be gone tomorrow.
That's why it's important to, like, stay informed and be ready to adapt.
For sure.
That's what makes it so interesting, though, right?
Absolutely. There's always something new to discover.
Speaking of discoveries, I was thinking about that fragmentation thing we talked about.
Okay.
With all those different video editing platforms. Sounded kind of messy to me.
It could be, yeah.
But some people think that fragmentation might not be a bad thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. In fact, it could make the creator economy more fair and equal.
I'm not sure I follow.
Like, imagine creators aren't stuck with the rules of just one platform.
Okay.
They could pick and choose the platforms that work best for them, connect directly with their audience, even make their own little communities.
Oh, I see.
Kind of like going back to the early days of the internet, you know?
I see what you mean.
More open, more experimental.
Where it's all about creativity and community.
Yeah, and the power shifts away from the big companies.
To the creators themselves.
Exactly.
It's a pretty compelling vision.
It is. a more fair and empowering digital world.
For sure.
This has been a lot of information.
It has.
We've gone from a new app to the future of social media to ethics and how it all affects our lives.
It's all connected.
It really is, and it shows that even small things can have huge effects.
Definitely.
So, what are your takeaways from all this? What do you think? Let us know.
And until next time, stay curious.
You know, talking about all this, Instagram versus TikTok.
Yeah.
There's something else we should probably talk about.
Oh, like what?
Like the bigger picture, you know?
Okay.
This isn't just about who gets more users. It's about how much power these platforms actually have. And what that means for us, for how we live our lives.
That's a good point.
We get caught up in the new features, the trends, and all that.
Right.
But we should really think about what it all means for society as a whole.
Totally. It's not always easy to think about.
Like, take TikTok. Even though the ban's on hold, the data security stuff is still there.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder how much we're willing to give up.
In terms of?
Our privacy, just for some fun and entertainment.
It's a tough balance.
It is.
On the one hand, these apps give us ways to be creative, connect with people,
Yeah.
but they're also collecting tons of data about us.
Yeah.
And who knows how that data could be used.
It's kind of scary when you think about it.
It is.
Like, what's my digital footprint? What choices am I making online?
Right. It's a good reminder to think about what we're sharing.
And who sees it?
Exactly.
That's not just data privacy either, right?
Yeah, what else?
These platforms can affect our mental health,
Oh, definitely.
how we relate to each other.
For sure.
There's been so much talk about how addictive social media is, the pressure to look perfect online.
They can be a lot.
All of that can really impact our well-being.
It really can.
And then there's the algorithms.
Oh.
Creating those echo chambers,
Yeah.
making us think everyone agrees with us, even when they don't.
It's like we're all in our own little bubbles.
Exactly. So what can we do about it?
Well, we can be more careful about how we use social media. Choose to follow accounts that are positive, share different viewpoints.
That's a good idea.
We can spend less time on our phones, do things that are good for our minds and bodies.
It's all about balance, right?
That's the key.
And we're not powerless in all of this either, right?
Definitely not.
We can speak up, demand that these companies act more ethically.
We have a voice.
We do.
We can use it to make things better.
That's a really important message.
It is.
It's easy to feel helpless, but we can actually shape how these platforms evolve.
We absolutely can.
That's why these conversations matter.
They do.
This deep dive has been quite a journey, huh?
It has.
From a new app to the future of social media,
Yeah.
to ethics and how it all affects us personally.
It's all connected.
It is. And it shows that small things can have big consequences.
You never know what's going to spark a huge change.
That's what makes it all so interesting.
I agree.
Well, that about wraps it up for this deep dive. We'd love to hear from you, though. What are your thoughts on all of this?
Yeah. What are your takeaways? How do you see all of this playing out? Let us know.
Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.